What's the most hilarious thing your child did during an important moment? As a single dad, I've learned to juggle a lot of things. But last month, I faced my biggest challenge yet, a final round video interview for my dream job while watching my 3-year-old daughter, Emma. The interview was scheduled for 1 p.m. on a Friday. I'd been preparing for weeks, had my best shirt pressed, and set up a professional background in my home office. The only problem? Emma's daycare had called in sick that morning, leaving me scrambling. With no other options, I decided to risk it and keep Emma entertained in the living room while I interviewed. Emma, Daddy has a very important phone call, I explained, setting her up with her tablet, snacks, and every toy she owned. I need you to be super quiet for 30 minutes, okay? Okay, Daddy. I'll be the quietest mouse ever, she promised, already absorbed in her cartoons. The interview started perfectly. I was nailing every question, discussing my experience with confidence, and I could tell the hiring manager was impressed. We were about 15 minutes in when she asked about my problem-solving skills. I was in the middle of describing a challenging project when I heard Emma calling from the living room. Daddy, I need help! I tried to ignore it, hoping she'd figure it out herself, but her voice got louder. Daddy, it's super important. I muted my microphone and called back. Just a minute, sweetie. The hiring manager smiled understandingly. Kids, right? Take your time. I unmuted and continued my answer, but Emma's voice was getting more urgent. Daddy, the potty is making weird sounds. My heart sank. Emma had been potty training, and weird sounds usually meant disaster. I'm so sorry, I told the interviewer. Could I have just one quick moment? I muted my microphone and rushed to the bathroom. Emma was standing there looking proud, but the toilet was overflowing. Water was spreading across the bathroom floor and seeping into the hallway. I used lots and lots of toilet paper, Daddy, like a mountain. I quickly turned off the water valve and grabbed every towel I could find. Emma, go back to the living room. Daddy will be right back. I rushed back to my office, slightly out of breath, but trying to maintain composure. Sorry about that, I said, unmuting myself. Where were we? But as I started talking again, I heard Emma's voice getting closer to my office. Daddy, why is there water everywhere? It's like an ocean. Then I heard little feet splashing through water, getting closer to my office door. Daddy, I'm coming to help you! Before I could stop her, Emma burst through my office door, soaking wet from the waist down, carrying a dish towel that was way too big for her. Don't worry, Daddy, I'm helping clean the water, she announced proudly, dragging the soaking towel across my office carpet. The hiring manager's eyes went wide as she took in the scene. Me in my professional shirt, a soaking wet toddler with a giant towel, and the sound of dripping water in the background. But Emma wasn't done. She looked directly at the camera and waved enthusiastically. Hi, are you Daddy's work friend? Daddy made a big mess in the bathroom. There's water everywhere. Wanna see? Before I could stop her, Emma grabbed my laptop and started turning it toward the hallway to show off the flood damage. Emma, no! I lunged for the laptop, but she was already giving the hiring manager a full tour. Look, it's like a swimming pool, and Daddy said some grown-up words too. The camera was spinning wildly as I tried to wrestle the laptop away from my helpful 3-year-old. I'm so sorry, I said to the interviewer, who was now getting a dizzying view of my ceiling, floor, and Emma's excited face. That's when Emma decided to share more helpful information. Daddy practices talking to you in the mirror every morning. He says I'm really good at my job over and over. The hiring manager was trying not to laugh as I finally got control of the laptop. And sometimes Daddy talks to himself when he's worried about money, Emma added cheerfully. But he says we'll be okay because Daddy's super smart. I wanted to disappear into the floor. My professional image was completely destroyed. My house was flooded, and my 3-year-old had just revealed my most embarrassing moments to my potential future boss. Emma, sweetie, why don't you go watch TV while Daddy finishes talking? Okay, nice meeting you, Daddy's friend. I hope you give Daddy the job because we really, really need it. She waved goodbye and skipped out of the room, leaving wet footprints and me sitting there in stunned silence. The hiring manager was quiet for a moment, then started laughing. Well, she said, that was certainly the most memorable interview I've ever conducted. I was sure I'd blown it completely. 2 days later, they called to offer me the position. Apparently, they were impressed by how I handled pressure and my authentic parenting skills. Emma still asks when she can help Daddy with more work calls.